So the start of the 2022-2023 League One campaign is just around the corner, but I thought I'd showcase who I thought would go all the way to the top and who would go for the drop out in the English third tier. Who's going to be there at the end of the season? We'll take a little look at it, all of it, next. That's right, folks, Bam's giving another prediction video today. We're taking a look at the end of the season rankings. That's right, who's promoted, who's going down. We'll take a look at it, all of it in a minute. Of course, big shout out to my VIPs, the other patrons, guys. You know who you are. And of course, if you're new, where you been, smash your subscribe button, bang up to date. All things Championship related, League One related, Rovers related. Excuse me. We got it all here, boys, under one rooski. Now, we're gonna, if you have not seen the League Two video, we are going to do it a little bit weird. So don't freak out. I'm just telling you, don't freak out. You might have a bit of a nightmare. Yup, that's right. There is two of me. There is two of me for a reason. But of course, all will be revealed as we get through the prickaroos. This one is so that you can keep eye contact on me for the majority of the stuff. And then this camera here will change between this camera and another camera. But anyway, let's just forget about the talking. Let's get cracking. Of course, now have a look at what I'm talking about. So here we go. Number 12. It is... Get in there, boy, get in there. Yeah, as always, it always is, isn't it? It's going to be these guys. Where are you? That's right, Accrington Stanley. Who are they? Exactly, into 12th spot they go. They always do it. They always defy the odds. And once again, they're going to do it this campaign. Of course, staying at the helm, of course, will be John Coleman, fantastic governor. It's just like Alex. I know it sounds stupid, but it's just like Alex Ferguson. You take John Coleman out of Accrington Stanley will do shit. Take John Coleman and put him in another club, he will do shit. They're made for each other, yeah, that's just keep them going, keep that relationship going, keep them sweet, and things will be just. But Seamus Connolly is El Capitano. Accrington Stanley always tipped to go down, 66-1. They are fourth favourites to go down, which would mean relegation. But for me, I know John Coleman. I don't know him personally, but I know he'll do wonders. And of course, no fear for Accrington Stanley this time around. Into 13th spot, we have a new boy. It is them pesky vegans, Tofu FC. That's right, Forest Green Rovers. They are, it's safety though. Of course, last season promoted. This season, a bit of a transitional season. New manager as well. Of course, John Edwards. Is it John Edwards? Rob Edwards, as they're called, left. The manager these days. Scott is Ian Bushnell. That's right. Jamie Malta will be El Capitano this campaign. Of course, last season they did all right. They're tipped to do reasonably well, 50-1, right about mid-table, middle of the pack there. Of course, first time at this level, they're building something smart here. A green team, literally. And of course, yeah, they'll be content with the 13th spot, I believe. They could be sucked into a relegation matter, of course, if things don't get off to a fantastic start. Nerves will creep in. Of course, new manager, new league. A lot to bear in mind, but of course they've got the belief, and I think they will rise above it no matter what. Moving forward, yeah, this one's a bit of a weird one. I think that these guys can do well. I'm a big fan of the guy, despite him being a thug, and of course, next Burnley freakazoid. It is Joey Barnes, Bristol Rovers, of course. They are a tip to do okay, 40-1 for them. Promoted alongside Forest Green, this time via the playoffs, I believe. So they are there, and of course, back into at least League One for the first of 10. Remember their journey last season. Fantastic journey by Joey Barton's boys. I think they'll continue that journey, climb up at least the League One ladder to maybe compete middle of the road, maybe even flirt with the playoffs. But ultimately, the cream will rise, and unfortunately, Bristol Rovers will not be in that cream. They'll be middle of the post, 40-1 for them. Same sort of odds as Forest Green. Forest Green Rovers 50-1. They are tipped to do worse than Bristol Rovers. But for me, I think that's a great start to life back in League One, and again, keeping Barton's stock reasonably well. I think he did okay at Fleetwood. He had a rough ride at Bristol Rovers, but a fantastic journey last campaign. Moving forward, a team that was so close, weren't they? It's another Green Army. It actually is Plymouth this time around. For me, back to normality. Mid-table obscurity for Plymouth last time around. They finished a credible 7th, but unfortunately not this time around. 3, 6, 9. The ref predicted a bit about 12th. 12th in the table. They're 20-1, same sort of odds, middle of the road sort of stuff there, but not me. You know, I think they lost their manager, and of course when the manager went, so did their dreams. I don't think Schumacher's got. Is it Schumacher? I love the name, love the play. Ex-Everton youngster. Is it still matey boy? I can't even see him. Yeah, Steven Schumacher, Joe Edwards, El Capitano. No, I think the bubble has burst for Plymouth. They had it. It was like Barnsley the season prior in the Championship or whenever. They failed, and now normality has resumed. So they've got to get it right this time around, or I think, because they finished 7th this time, they missed around. It'll be maybe mid-table or even be worse. So they need to sort the shit out and early and get the stuff figured out. Moving on, what do we have next? We have, okay, it is these bad boys into 16th. It is Cambridge United sliding into my DMs there into 16th spot. Last season, not much of a change there though, really. They were 14th, a couple of spots worse off. And again, slowly but surely, they are sinking to the levels that they were. Of course, flirting with maybe a League Two return. They don't want to be there. I don't want to see them there either. And of course, in my eyes, they will not be there. Of course, Cambridge, of course, managed by Ben, actually by Wade Elliott. Looking for a captain as well these days. Did I say Wade Elliott? Scrap that. Mark Banner is the manager. And I think he was linked with a few jobs over the summer, so maybe we'll see how they can do with him there. They are tipped to go down, actually, 100-1. They are second favourites to go down, but not in my eyes. They're a strong team, strong unit, and they'll keep on believing until the very end. So for me, Cambridge, 14th last season, 16 this time. They are dripping back a little bit, but no, they'll be fine. And of course, they'll be here again next season. Moving on, we do have a promoted side. Is this the third and final promoted side? It is Exeter City. That's right. They'll be happy with that. Surely, of course, Ferrara the bridesmaid last season or the season prior, always in the playoffs, but they finally got it right this time. Actually, there's 4 promoted teams, isn't that right? So Exeter into 17th spot, promoted last time around. They're tipped to do pretty shit, actually, 66-1. And yeah, close. They're 4 favourites to go down. They're tipped to go back down according to the bookies' odds, but not me. I think they'll be all right. With the manager that they have, Matty Taylor, did a fantastic job. Matt J, of course, El Capitano, and of course they'll ride the momentum that they had last season, and they will be just safe enough in the end. Moving on to 18th spot, we have Fleetwood Town going down. They were going down last season, hanging on with the skin of the teeth. They were 20th last season. Of course, Scotty Brown has taken over the reins. Of course, Scottish international legend, Celtic legend, leader on the field, but can he do it in the dugout? Of course, Barton was once there. Of course, they had Stephen Craney last time, who did an absolute shitter job. But can Scott Brown do it? So either be spot on, or it will be absolutely wrong, and he absolutely flies up that table. So we'll see about that. I think he has made some good moves in the transfer market, but for me, I just don't know. It's a question mark. So Fleetwood Town for me into 18th spot, and we'll see about that. Odds though, I'll give you the odds of Fleetwood Town. 66-1, about the same odds as Stanley and same odds as Exeter. There's like 5 or 6 teams in and around about that number, so yeah, we'll have to see which Fleetwood show up. Into 19th spot, we have a bit of a surprise on this one, because a lot of people are going to tip them to go down, but not me. Morecambe, that's right, sponsored by Tyson Fury, sponsored the shorts anyway. And of course, Derek Adams done a fantastic job getting Morecambe into this division last season. Of course, Derek Adams pissed off. He went to Bradford, he would chase the money, but he failed. Came back with his tail between his legs after Morecambe were fluffing their lines. I think Stephen Robinson was the manager, fucked off up to Motherwell or something like that. And now, yeah, back with his tail between legs. But he's going to get it right. He knows this team. He believes in them. He must be lucky that they give him another chance. Anthony O'Connor is El Capitano. They got some money with Tyson Fury backing them with on the shorts anyway. So yeah, I think they'll get it right, or just enough anyway. And if they can get it right this time around, you never know. Next season, after this coming one, they might push for top. Well, at least top of the bottom half. But they are tipped to go down 150-1, but not me. I believe in the Morecambe. I think they'll keep on fighting, and that is, I think, it's actually penultimate place before they go down. Into 20th spot, it is a bit of a gamble on here. I'm going for the Imps. Sorry, Lincoln City, yes. Lincoln City last time out finishing 17th. Of course, a couple of spots worse off. They have got a new manager. Appleton has packed up his bags. Mark Kennedy taking over the reins there. Liam Bridcut, Capitano for Lincoln City. Lincoln City are actually tipped to be around about mid-table, 50-1. So not bad. It's not good. Again, a bit of a gamble. You don't know what you get with Fleetwood. You don't know what you get with Lincoln. So for me, it could be right. It could be spot on. They ain't going to go down, but will he still be in charge of the Imps? at the end of the season? I don't know. We'll have to see. But moving on to the team that's going to go down. Big loss for them in the dugout. It is Cheltenham Town. They are going to go down. That's right. Major loss. 80-1 to go down. They're tipped third favourites to go down. For me, they are fourth favourites, so they are 3 teams worse off than them. Fantastic season last season. They finished respectable 15th. And of course, matey boy's gone and joins Barnsley, hasn't he? Michael Duffer to his mates, ex-Burnley freakazoid there as well. But leaving Cheltenham, of course, going to set them up for failure. Taking over the reins there is Wade Elliott. Not too sure how he's going to fare in League One. I don't know his managerial credentials as well. I don't know if he's done a fantastic job elsewhere. I think this might be his first appointment. So we'll see about that. They're anticipated to go down in my eyes, but I've got a couple others. It's a 22nd spot. Unfortunately, it is one of the promoted sides, the one left, Port Bloody Vale. That's right, they're tipped, in my eyes, to go down. Of course, matey boy Darrell Clark is the manager. Tom Conlon, of course, El Capitano. Port Vale 66-1. They are tipped to be alongside Stanley, Exeter, Fleetwood, and others to go down. 66-1. So they are in that pack of four or five teams that are tipped to go down. So yeah, they're in about this. They might get it right though. They might have a fantastic campaign. They might do a Crew. You know what Crew did a couple of seasons ago, and were flirting in the middle of the pack there. So we'll see. But for me, not good enough. I don't think they brought in the potential, and I just don't know about Darrell Clark as a manager in League One. Moving on into 23rd spot, a team that I see is ranked reasonably high, and this might come as a surprise to you if I can find them. There they are, Elliot Bennett's boys, Shrewsbury Town. Are they going to go down? I've tipped them to go down last season, but they did finish 18th last time, 23rd for me this time around. Of course, Shrewsbury, managed by Steve Cotterill. Ethan Ebanks Landell is El Capitano, but they do have Elliot Bennett still in the books. I think he signed an extended contract there to be there for another season, but they are tipped around about 33-1. Nowhere near the relegation spots, according to the bookies' eyes anyway. But for me, I just think the time is coming. The time is coming. If it's not this season, it's going to be next. So don't expect my opinions to change anytime soon. But who will join them? I have one spot left, and this is a bit of a shocker, Rooney. Maybe they are tipped to be one of the 4 teams to go down in the cluster of them, around about 66-1, alongside Fleetwood, alongside Stanley, Port Vale, and Exeter. It is Burton Albion, that's right. Is Hasselbank still there? I think he is, but regardless if he's there or not, it didn't work out with his Nyasi gamble and all that kind of stuff. Jimmy Floyd is still there. We're linked with a job with QPR. Was linked with a couple of other jobs as well. He's still there. Has he still got the excitement levels? Has he still got the belief that he can turn this team around? I don't think so. I think it's going to have a shit show this season, and they're going to tank. They're going to tank it out. 66-1 to go down. Last season they finished in around about 16th. So not a major drop, but it is a drop. It's a significant drop from 16th to the bottom. Even if they dropped down to 5 spots, they will be in the relegation zone. But for me, I think they will shit a brick and they won't get out of it. And Floyd will walk. Jimmy Floyd will walk. Probably around about December time, or maybe even before that. But anyway, that's the state of play in the bottom half of the league. What about the top half of the league? Well, let's get into it then. We're going to start with 11th of the 11th, and it is these bad boys, Charlton Athletic. That's right, Ben Garner taking over the reins there. Johnny Jackson, of course, it was shite, wasn't he, last season? He started off so well, and hopefully Ben Garner coming on from Swindon, 16-1 for them, around about what they have. They've got 369 to about 10th, 11th, so it is on point with the bookies' odds. And again, this is just my gut. I didn't go with that. I'm looking at them now. My looking at the bookies is what is the first time I'm looking at them. So yes, it's just my gut feeling. They're mid-table for me. Nothing less than that. Mid-table at best. They could get sucked into that. I think the difference between the 11th spot and 16th spot, Cambridge, is fine. 2-3 points at best at the end of the season. Charlton last season 13th. It is a couple of spots better off. Will Ben Garner get applauded for that? I don't think so. I think he might be okay to keep his job, but realistically, they want more than that. They have a recently new owner, so yeah, we'll see. Into 10th spot, a bit of a surprise here, perhaps. They seem to be selling a lot of their players, or a lot of uncertainty of their players. Tipped to do very, very well, but not me. It is 10th spot, Posh, Peterborough, outside the playoffs, nowhere near. Of course, Championship last time around. This time around, 10th spot. Matey boy still, actually, Grant McCann. So that is a little bit of a shit. I forgot that he was gaffer there. Jordan Clark Harris scores goals at this level, but what is the morale like at at the stadium there in Peterborough. I don't know, and I think they're going to lose a couple of players. Sami Simic is linked with Rovers. I don't know if that's going to happen by the time this video goes out. I don't know. I don't even know if I really want it to happen, to be honest with you. But regardless of that, they've got some key players. They're in the selling business in order to keep their heads above water. To be honest with you, they need to sell the talent. And if Sami Simic goes, Johnson Clark-Harris could also be going. So I just think a bit of a season of shit for Posh here. Four favourites to go up, 10-1. Grant McKenna is a good manager. I'll give him that. And if I remembered that, I might have pushed them closer to the playoffs. But for me, they're 10th, and maybe 6th. They could between 6th and 10th. Fine margins as well. It's a crazy old league. It's a little bit weaker league this season with the likes of Sunderland going. Who else went up with them? Rotherham and Wigan. I didn't really anticipate Rotherham to go bouncing back, but there are there are a few suspects in here that will or regular faces that will be there or thereabouts. I've got a couple of surprises up my sleeve, but let's get into number 9. It is a surprise, perhaps, of some shape or form. It's Gareth Ainsworth's boys. It's Wickham. Andy Akinfenwa no more. But Gareth Ainsworth has signed on the dotted line, was forever linked with QPR, forever linked with Blackburn Rovers. And maybe, just maybe, he could have made a good manager for Blackburn Rovers, but maybe his heart would have ruled his head and he would have made some stupid calls. 60-1 for them. They are level with the likes of Charlton and a couple of others. So they're tipped to do around about this. So, and again, last season they did all right in 6th spot. 3 spots worse off. And to be honest with you, I think that's about right. They're sticking to me. Who's the captain these days? It's Joe Jacobson, I believe. Yep, still there. Still a force on the corners anyway, with a wizard. I think that's the guy who does the corners. Regardless of all that, Wickham for me in 9th. Into 8th we have, of course, this could be right, this could be wrong. But they've made a lot of it. They've finally been handed over. It's Derby County. That's right. Derby County coming at you with Liam Rossignol. He's the interim manager. Will he be classed as their final manager? I don't know. But they've been busy bringing in some new faces. The captain has yet to be confirmed. You might know different, so let me know. 3rd favourites to go up, 7-1. I have them just outside the playoffs. I just think the signings that they're making, they're good individuals. They're experienced individuals. They've been this in and done it. But will they mesh together? During the course of a season under a manager that's, a little bit raw, a little bit rough around the gills. We don't know what Liam Rossignol's going, if he's going to be given the keys to Pride Park. I just think it's I criticised the Wayne Rooney derby, and maybe Liam Rossignol was the brains behind the face. You know what I mean? We'll have to find out. They're tipped to go up, 3rd favourites behind a couple of other teams, but for me, just shy. Just because they just don't know. All these new signings, too soon, too often, too many. Very little time to bed down. Moving on to 7th again. Shit show, I apologise to the Kazan boys. It's Oxford United. That's right. Unfortunately, they will be a bridesmaid. Not even that. They'll be a page boy. They'll be the leftovers. Don't even make the playoffs this time around. Oxford, Carl Roberts is still there. John Mousinho, not Mourinho, but Mousinho's El Capitano over at the Kazan. They are tipped always to do well. They're tipped to be 9th, 16-1. Level on with Charlton, level with Wickham, in amongst a couple of teams to be in and around about that 6th or 7th spot. So about right, according to the bookies anyway. We're into the Power 6 now, guys. The Power 6. If you are a League One fan and I've not mentioned your team, guess what? Start to celebrate. Start a party. Have a party in your pants. Woohoo! That's right. Who is a 6th spot? We have Ipswich Town for me. A lot of people are tipping them to do much better than 6. But I don't know about this manager. I really don't know. He is, of course, Kevin McKenna, formerly on Manchester United coach. Did all right. But I don't know. Sam Morsey, he knows his shit, doesn't he? Was brought in there by previous regime, and that regime loved Sam Morsey. He's a shithouse merchant. He actually was doing okay in Middlesbrough, but he left. He left to go back to join Paul Cook at the time at Ipswich. But that era's over. Kieran McKenna's bringing a different style of football. It might work out. I have it working semi anyway. Macaulay Bond scored the goals last time around. I don't know where he's at. I don't know if he's back at QPR. I don't know if they made that move permanent. But if they got him, there's goals in that boy. I like him a lot. But we'll see. Ipswich are tipped to be to go up actually. 2nd favourites, 5-1 for me. Playoff bound. Last season though they were 11th, so much progress for them. And again, that will keep Kieran McKenna's stock on the rise. Into 5th spot. Do it, boys. It is the Trotters. Yes, Bolton Wanderers. I have them in the playoffs as well. They were a little bit unlucky not to make it last around 9th last time around. Tipped to be around about that. Around about in the mixer, 14-1. In with a bunch of other boys as well. Of course, manager these days is Ian Ever. Done a fantastic job. Ricardo Santos is the captain at Bolton. Of course, I'd love to get them up there with Bolton, with Blackpool, with Wigan, with Preston, with Burnley. Would make an absolute bang in North West mini league in the Championship. Moving on though, Bolton, of course, it's a new era now for Bolton. They need to get back, hopefully this time I'm asking, if not, maybe next time around. Slowly but surely they're investing as well, bringing in some talent to strengthen their numbers. And Ian Ever is the manager, also being his stock is on the climb as well. They are tipped to do 14-1, 7th favourites, but for me, they're up there in 5th. Into 4th spot, we do have. It's a bit of a gamble, but they're losing a lot of players, and they just lost one to Rovers. Callum Britton's gone to Rovers, but it is Barnsley. I don't know about this. I'm actually maybe regretting this, depending on who they've got left. They've got a lot of players that I would love to snap, and we may even be snapping another one. I don't know, though. I really don't know. I can't believe what I'm hearing, if it's true. But regardless, 16-1 for Barnsley. They're around about 8th favourites, of course, relegated last season. A couple of seasons prior, they were on the cusps of the playoffs. So actually, they made the playoffs, but they failed to get it right on the night. So they were close to Premier League bound, but now they're back in League One. How mad is this game? That's all I can say. Barnsley have a new manager with Michael Duff. Good manager, you know, for Charlton, did a fantastic job. Can he get it right for Barnsley? Potentially. It was also linked with a move to Burnley, but of course they pumped up the cash and went for Vincent Kompany instead. So yeah, again, a lot of questions and marks around Barnsley. I've got them as high as 4th. It might be a bit stupid with that one because they could lose 2 or 3 key players still, and that would of course change my vibe, and I probably could swap them with Peterborough in the end, probably put them in 10th and Peterborough up as high as 4th. So right here and now, that's my gut. Hopefully I'm right for you Barnsley fans. You've given us a present in Callum Britton, and maybe more if what I'm hearing is true. Into 3rd spot, of course, just again, throw the bridesmaid as well. It's the Cowley brothers, that's right. It's Portsmouth. Portsmouth getting it right semi this time around. They deserve to be higher. They are the new Sunderland for me. They've got the biggest fan base, I believe, in this division, if I'm right. If I'm right, correct me if I'm wrong. But at Frat Park, it's an atmosphere. They deserve to be higher. They've been on a reckless journey as a football team. This is a season to make a push, for a real push. Cowley's your manager's there. Clark Robinson is, of course, Capitano. Last season, though, for Pompey, finishing around about 10th. They are tipped, always tipped to do well, 14-1, 5th favourites. But who do I have going up? Well, into 2nd spot. Last season they were in 3rd, unlucky. They kept hold of the manager for the time being. Anyway, Liam Manning's still there. They have lost Scott Twine, but for me, MK Dons get it right this time. 6 favourites, 14-1 for them to go the distance. 3rd last time around. They've got a bit of money from that Scott Twine sale. They've kept the manager, which of course I probably would have liked him if I could choose a domestic-based manager. Besides the one that we ended up with, you know, I would have loved to have Liam Manning, and a lot of other clubs would have done too. The problem is, it could follow suit like Matey Boy from Plymouth last season. He might do so well this season, and a team like Middlesbrough or someone have a shitter, and then the money comes talking, and of course they take him mid-season, of course. So we'll see. We'll see if he sticks around. Hopefully he sticks around and gets it right this time. But top of the pops for me is these bad boys. Sheffield Wednesday. They've got probably the best manager, I think. They definitely got the best squad. And again, another juggernaut, just like Pompey. And of course, a little bit unlucky last season. Didn't make it, did they? Sheffield Wednesday 4th last time around. This time around, they go top billing. They are tipped to go well. 92. No surprise there with the bookies on my end. So yes, Sheffield Wednesday, MK Dons will go automatics. Then it's Pompey, Barnsley, Bolton and Ipswich. But realistically, when you look at that top end of the table from 11th upwards, you're going to be, it's tough to choose. It really is tough to choose. But let me know your thoughts and opinions down below, of course, as we look forward to the start of a brand new League One campaign. We'll have predictions on the channel, I believe. I'm still all over the place right now, but if we are going to do it, it's going to be a Google form just like last year. Get in early, get your predictions on there, and enjoy the ride. Of course, hopefully your team does very well. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to let you get out of here. Smash your subscribe, smash the thumbs up, and smash the little bell. But until then, boys, let's get started with a bit of footy.